When you talk about nostalgia, chances are there will be a never-ending story to it, because everyone got their personal opinion on the subject. Nostalgia is largely formed from what we experienced during our childhood, and it's part of the memories that were created throughout your life cycle. Nostalgia can be in different forms, and trying to mention them to give some criticism will result in a bad consequences. If there's one line you don't want to touch, it's people's nostalgia, including mine. During my 20 years plus adventure, I have watched countless TV shows/movies. The A-Team, Friends, and of course Knight Rider. Say what you want about the show being dated. Yes, there are some aspects that doesn't age well anymore, or the show is cheesy for its time, but those are the reasons that make the show fun to watch to begin with. A show about a guy who was presumed dead was then given a brand new identity, accompanied by an autonomous car that can do pretty much anything, except cooking. Nowadays, it's nothing special, but back then, it was pretty refreshing to see such concept being implemented, and it worked pretty well, to say the least. The show ran for 4 seasons, and they also tried to make couple sequels and reboots, but all of them are mediocre in my opinion. The original show still holds a special place in my heart. And because the show is popular, of course, there are games being released to coincide with the series, and today we will talk about some of them. 2 main rules. I will only talk about official games, so no fan games, no mods, none of those stuff. And most importantly, these are just my opinion. With those rules out of the way, welcome to Knight Rider Month of Appreciation. First up, believe it or not, is actually a game that does not exist. According to sources, there was meant to be a Knight Rider game released during the beginning of the TV show lifespan, and you won't believe what console it is on. That's right, the Atari 2600, and that's all the information I could find. It must be very early into the development when they decide to make the game, because no actual work were put into the project, thus no footage will leak. The world may never know the full product. Who knows, maybe it could be the game that caused the crash of 1983. Anyway, first up for real, Knight Rider released in 1986, developed by Ocean Software for Amstrad, Commodore 64, and ZX Spectrum. We are looking at the Commodore 64 version. Oh, the game is only released in Europe, and you can guess it's for a good reason. The presentation looks bad, and you might be thinking, it's an old computer, so don't expect much from it. But when you compare it with other games, there's no excuse. Alright, let's select our mission. There is Silicon Valley. Wait, what is this? What the hell? Am I playing Knight Rider or what? Is this secretly James Bond game? Since when the Foundation took part in all of these missions? Did the TV show do this? Or am I having short-term memory loss? Unless the flag commits war crime. Hashtag war crime is everywhere. Okay, select your mission, then select your location, and off you go. The gameplay is pretty simple. You just control Kit as you traverse down the road avoiding enemies and reach the destination within a time limit. Just like a TV show, Kid also have weapons to defend for itself, but with a twist. You are not allowed to use them. What? You thought you can do everything in a car? Of course not. Because Kid is allowed to fire the weapon, but not you. What a bummer. It's already bad enough that I have to stare at an empty backdrop with nothing interesting to look at while I'm driving on a road filled with nothingness, but Kid here having the luxury of controlling the weaponry. Like, please, let me have my chance at blowing those suckers. But in the end, you get nothing. You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir! Okay, you're not gonna play fair with me, huh? Well, let me be unfair too. Yeah, take that, sucker! Hey, try to target this chopper. I bet you can't. Whoops! You miss! You ain't getting that. This will teach you a lesson. Nothing for you. Sorry, not today. 2 hours later. Yeah, how about that, kid? Having fun having all the fun? After you are done with the worst road trip in your life, you then switch to the next gameplay, where it becomes an overhead view where you have to sneak around enemies to collect data. You know, like Metal Gear Solid. Except this game invented sneaking before they existed. Haha, take that, Konami. Anyway, the premise is simple. Sneak around and don't get spotted. If you do, then the game just respawns you back at the starting point, instead of giving you a game over. Once you reach the other side, you then select another location and repeat the same process. Driving down a road with nothing to look at and watch as Kid continue his target practice. It was at this point that I lost any interest with this game, not because it's bad, but because it's just bland, uninspiring, and most importantly, Kid being a selfish prick. Overall, if you're itching for a Night Rider game on Commodore 64, maybe you will like it. If not, skip this one at all costs. Whew, now that we are done with the computer stuff, I think we can take a breath of relief as we head into the next game on an actual system that plays actual games. Knight Rider is developed by Pack-In Video Games and published by Acclaim in September 30th, 1988 for the aforementioned NES system. Right from the get-go, you are greeted with a different music. Sure, some people say it doesn't sound like Knight Rider, but for what we got here, I actually think it's decent enough. All you have here are mission and drive mode. Mission mode basically acts like your story mode. Go to a different location, complete missions, rinse and repeat. As for drive, you just drive on the same level. You know, just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. Take it to the edge when I have to die. Take it to the edge when I have to die 1,000 times. And maybe I could be the one right in the setting sun tonight. Just try. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. The gameplay here needs no introduction. You control Kid for the most part for the entire road trip with the D-pad. You can also jump with the A and use your weapon with the B button. You know the drill already. As you look closer at the interior of your car, you will notice a couple important aspects like gas and shield, time limit along with a radar system for your surrounding, which brings me to the next point. There are tons of traffic on the road in your road trip, and they are willing to risk their lives to take you out. The most common enemy types are the red and blue, and I'm pretty sure any normal people will be able to figure out which is bad or good. A combination of fast reaction and quick aiming will be vital in clearing the road. Sounds easy. It's not. See, even the dog agrees. Okay, shut up. There are also the blue cars on the road. Oh, another traffic? Time to blow them out of the sky. But with a twist. If you dare to take them out, well, say goodbye to your time because the Foundation does not approve you of harming random civilians on the streets. Despite the Foundation combat against criminals above the law, but still, they wouldn't cross the line. Be like Foundation. Respect the traffic. Hashtag don't commit war crime. When you take into account the red cars you need to destroy and avoiding as much blue cars as possible, the whole game becomes much more frantic. Weaving through traffic, avoiding them while waiting the right moment to perform the final blow, all of which needs to be done under strict time limit. Yup, the game is pretty brutal. You get your destination, and here's your time. Get there quickly, sucker. Not all hope is lost. On the intense road trip, there are yellow cars that will appear as well. They often drop random pickups such as time and ammo for different weapons, and trust me when you do not want to miss any of them. Those will make or break your road trip, considering they can also fight back at you. Because without them, you will never reach the end. I tried multiple times, but failed. You will constantly stumble upon traffic on 3 lanes, and it's up to you to decide how to conquer them all. Oh come on, I got hit like few bullets that look very small, and I already lose my shield? Seriously, I thought this is kid we're talking about. A character cannot get damaged easily. Look what you done, Bonnie. Speaking of Bonnie, before you start each mission, you are given an option to upgrade your car to make your progression much easier, because you will need them even on the first mission. And if it wasn't for the password system, I wouldn't know there are 15 missions in total. Each mission starts with you going on a road trip within a given time and ends with you fighting a boss. Pretty straightforward. Overall, a pretty good adaptation on the NES, albeit brutal in terms of difficulty. People often talk about Ninja Gaiden or Battletoads being the hardest game on the console. Well, Knight Rider is up there too. For the third game, we're gonna take a leap from the 8-bit console all the way to the 16-bit, the one and only TurboGrafx 16, aka PC Engine in Japan. In a world where the SNES and Genesis dominated the market, one young challenger tried to stood up in the spotlight, although it only lasted for a brief moment, but still, long enough to let the world know the existence. I've been trying to get the hands on this console. Maybe this will be my chance. Never mind. Anyway, back to my main topic. Knight Rider Special was released on December 16, 1994, developed and published by Pack-In Video. This time though, the main menu is based off the TV show, and I gotta give credit to them for making it sound familiar in terms of music. Oh, before you get too excited, this game is only released in Japan, which means you're gonna have to brush up your Japanese to understand the story. So they're talking something about the world in danger, something they have to stop them because you know they are the Foundation, they gotta stop the crime, something like that. Anyway, the game plays like what you expected, especially if you came right off from Chase HQ. Start at point A and get to point B quickly while trying to defeat the boss. Just like the NES version, you control Kid with the D-pad, while the face button allows for jumping and for using weapon. For the most part, Kid controls pretty responsive, regardless of what speed you are on. But be careful, he can also spin out of control and flips in the air before crashing down. And trust me, you don't want that to happen. I crashed. It's okay. I still got time. Come on, let me drive already. Damn it! Besides driving, you also have to fend off the enemies with your weapon. As you progress through the game, you can access different types. This time around, you are free to destroy any traffic on the road, whether it was a truck or just regular car. The Foundation doesn't mind at all. Hashtag War Crime is back. There are a total of 5 stages. Well, 6 if you count this one, where the game wants you to lose to make you look miserable, ranging from different environments to make you feel like you have been traveling for a long time, to also the game keeps swapping the color palette in the sky to really make you think you are driving a long road trip. This time around, the game doesn't support password system if you fail, but honestly, you won't even need it. The whole game is pretty easy to get into and not that hard unlike the NES version. I had some fun playing this and beating it for 20 minutes, but if you ask me to choose between Chase HQ and this, I would prefer the first. Overall, pretty good game on the turbografx, PC engine. So those are the 3 licensed games made for the older generation system, but it does not end here. As we enter the next decade, there are a couple more official games being made